The 200-pound Messi, football's unstoppable hybrid superstar. Episode 61. Lin Shurer is now convinced. Before, Lu Junfeng also said that he could reach Yao Ming's popularity within 2 years, but now it seems that half a year is enough. Some merchants have agreed to tens of millions of endorsement fees every year. But Lu Junfeng said that there was no need to rush, he needed to assess the qualifications of the merchants and not endorse those fake and shoddy goods. Now he can choose well. Before the Schalke 04 game, another player from Arsenal collapsed due to injury. Strikers Little Tiger Walcott, Oxlade-Chamberlain, midfielder Second Master Diaby, left-back Gibbs all have to take a break for a while and are not included in the squad. But Gervinho is ready to play. The other good news is that the main right-back Factory Flower Sarnia and the minor threat Will Share known as the Arsenal Prince are about to return. They are playing in reserve, looking for form. The day before the match, Arsenal announced the squad. On the front line, Lu Junfeng, Giroud, Hotbird, Boplane, Arshavin, and then there is Gnabry, who was promoted by the reserve. Midfielders Cazorla, Arteta, Coquelin, Ramsey. At the back, Jan Million, Mertzak, Vermaelen, Koscielny, Giroud, Santos. Goalkeepers Manwan and James Shea. Several of them came up from reserves, which shows how serious Arsenal's injuries are. Gnabry was very happy. He hopes that he will have the opportunity to appear, and then, like Lu Junfeng, become famous by one goal. Now Lu Junfeng is firmly established in the first team. His legendary deeds have been passed down in various youth teams. October 25, 2:45 a.m. China time. Arsenal officially started the third round of the Champions League group stage at home to Schalke 04. North London local time is close to 8 p.m. A drizzle fell in the sky. It was another dark and humid day, and the venue was relatively slippery. An hour before the match, the starting list was announced by both sides. Arsenal goalkeeper Manwan. The back four are Jan Million, Mertzak, Vermaelen, Andre Santos, from right to left. The midfield trio are Coquelin, Arteta, and Cazorla. Up front is centre Olivier Giroud, flanked by Hotbirds and Wave Planes. Still in formation 433. Today they wear the traditional red and white home jersey. As soon as the lineup was announced, the Huasha side immediately exploded. Why did Lu Junfeng substitute again? Didn't he play well? You must know that so many fans got up in the middle of the night to watch the game, isn't it just to see how Lu Junfeng kills all sides? How did this get the bench up again? The people in charge of this commentary are still Zhang Jun and Zhang Lu. Zhang Jun analyzed. In fact, Lu Junfeng has not played the whole game so far. Either come off the bench or be substituted in about 70 minutes. As we've said before, he's probably not fit enough to play the whole game. Excess weight has an advantage in confrontation, but the consumption is really greater than the average person. And Coach Wenger mentioned before that he will manage the load of Lu Junfeng. So it's unlikely that he will start back-to-back. Especially this kind of weekly double race. Now his role is different from before. Previously, if the team sealed the win early, he would go up and exercise. Now it's the other way around, and if he seals the win early, it is estimated that he will rest. It's only when the situation is bad that he plays. Jean Lu added. That's right. Lu Junfeng is now like a powerful weapon, which is to be used at critical moments. Usually pay attention to maintenance, cannot wear too much. Schalke 04 starting 11 was goalkeeper Onnerstal. Defenders Atsuto Uchida, Hevides, Modip, Fuchs. Among them, Modip is 195 centimeters tall and weighs 180 pounds, which can be regarded as a heavy defender. In the future, he can be called one of the top central defenders. Hevides is a regular in the German national team and is also a quality that cannot be underestimated. The midfielder is trailing Neustadt. Middle Afiel, Hegel. Forehead Holtby. Up front are the well-known Dutch striker Huntelaar and Farfan from Peru. The formation is close to 442, a diamond-shaped midfielder. Schalke 04 is a traditional Bundesliga powerhouse, founded in 1904, nicknamed Miner or Royal Blue, wearing a blue uniform. They have won the German top league 9 times. 1 UEFA Cup winner. Due to its location in the center of coal mining in Germany, the initial fans were mainly coal miners, so the style was relatively wild. Especially the atmosphere at home, it's terrifying. They signed Huasha player Hao Junmin in 10 years, so many Huasha fans know this team better. However, in July 11th, Hao Junmin left Schalke 04 and returned to China, and his experience in the ocean was not smooth. Schalke 04 has only met Arsenal twice in its history, in the group stage of the Champions League in the 01-02 season. Arsenal won 3-2 at home and lost 3-1 away from home. It seems that the Schalke 04 is slightly superior. With Arsenal's good record during this period and the fact that this is an important match for the Champions League to qualify first in the group, the Emirates Stadium is packed. In the sideline audience, more and more fans wore Lu Junfeng's number 58 shirt. The group of black-clad fans who appeared before are gone. In fact, some of them came to the scene wearing ordinary clothes. Arsenal have been in good form lately, winning consecutive games, so their slogan "Wenger leaves class" has undoubtedly become a joke. Now I still choose to support Arsenal, wait for the results to fall again, and then continue to make trouble. Episode 62. Lu Junfeng sat on the bench today, next to Gnabry. By the way, he taught Gnabry how to adjust his mood if he played. After all, this is a Champions League match, not a chicken rib game like the Carabao Cup, and it is inevitable to be nervous in the first appearance. After the start of the game, Arsenal still had the advantage. They want to take advantage of the home court to win over their opponents and take all 3 points. If the group finishes second, it is likely to face a strong opponent in the first round of knockout. The opening hot bird entered the state and broke through on the right side in a row. However, his choice after the breakthrough was poor, and he failed to form a threatening attack. In the 4th minute, Cazorla went straight to the right flank hot bird, who could not break through and tried to fight a corner, only to bounce back and hit his own line. Lu Junfeng said on the sidelines that he didn't look at it. This guy is a pure comedian. In the 6th minute, Schalke 04 counterattacked, but a Fields direct ball to Huntelaar was intercepted by Santos. In the 8th minute, Santos unloaded the ball on the left side and hit the wall with Cazorla, accidentally knocking the ball off the line. It is clear that the Arsenal players who changed the squad lacked the previous tacit understanding. A little over a minute later, the wave plane crossed low on the left flank, and the Hotbirds' push deflected under the interference of the opponent. In the 13th minute, Farfan went straight in front of the box. Jan Millions intends to jam and let goalkeeper Manwan hold the ball. However, Manwan did not strike in time, and as a result, a field decisively inserted and swept past the ball. He then tripped over Manwan and fell to the ground. But the referee decided that Afiel had faked a fall and gave him a yellow card. A minute later, Vermaelen was shown a yellow card when he brought down his opponent while defending Falfan. In the 18th minute, the ball plane passed Uchida Atsushito on the left, but his cross was too high for Giroud to reach. In the 23rd minute, Cazorla crossed straight and was tackled one-on-one by Hevides in the Hotbirds' penalty area. In the 25th minute, Vermaelen's long-range shot from outside was blocked by Hevides. In the 27th minute, Cazorla's shot from the edge of the box hit the defender, deflected slightly off the upright. Schalke 04 only got his first shot in the 31st minute, and Farfan's shot was blocked by Mertzak. In the 40th minute, Hevides was shown a yellow card after a foul. In the 42nd minute, Schalke 04 got a chance, Atsushito Uchida knocked back from the right and Huntelaar's close-range shot deflected wide. Throughout the first half, Arsenal had more than 70% possession and kept beating Schalke 04. But because the cooperation in the front court is still not tacit enough, there are few real opportunities. At halftime, Zhang Jun said that Arsenal estimated that Lu Junfeng would still be sent. Olivier Giroud has just returned from injury and is still looking for form. And his impact is not as strong as Lu Junfeng. If Arsenal want to take 3 points this time, they can only play in the strongest team and cannot keep their hands. Going into the second half, Schalke 04 replaced Hogel with Jones. In the 47th minute, Arsenal again found an opportunity to cross from the left wing, but Giroud's shot was blocked. He himself was very upset. Arteta then put down Afiel and was yellow-carded. Arsenal's control of the ball gradually weakened, and Schalke 04 slowly began to attack. In the 50th minute, Farfan passed Santos and knocked before Huntelaar followed up with a shot that was deflected off the crossbar by Mananito. Schalke 04 won a corner kick and Hevides headed it over the crossbar. Schalke 04 then made another substitution, replacing Holtby with Barnetta. Arsenal's Hotbirds fell after bursting into the box, were judged to be fake and received a yellow card. In the 66th minute, Schalke 04 countered again quickly. Atsushito Uchida crosses from the right and is headed over by Arteta. Schalke 04 continues with a header from Afiel. The ball was right between Arsenal's two centre-backs, and Huntelaar hurried to catch up with a right-footed volley that went into the net. 0-1. Arsenal are home behind. The situation is very bad for Arsenal. Originally, Schalke 04's defense line was stable, it was difficult for them to attack it, and now the other party can completely hold it. Huntelaar has been in good form in the Champions League this season, scoring 3 goals in a row. He is best known for his role in the Dutch national team, playing against Dutch three-stick Robin van Persie, Robin and Sneijder. Of course, the story was made up, but the prestige of the Dutch three-sticker spread. Wenger had no choice but to replace the informed Giroud with Lu Junfeng. Originally, he really wanted to save Lu Junfeng, but if he lost this game, the first place in the group basically had no hope. Seeing Lu Junfeng finally playing, the major sports forums in China suddenly became active. It turns out that Arsenal's recovery is because of Lu Junfeng. You see, if he doesn't play, Arsenal's attack is as weak as before. There is still a grade gap between Giroud and Lu Junfeng. Lu Junfeng was helpless at this time. He prefers to fight back than the current battle. What's more, the other party's two central defenders are ruthless. But there is no way, since the coach trusts him so much, he can only do his best. Arsenal pressed on the line at this time and took control of the midfield. Lu Junfeng is in the middle of the restricted area. Although his height is not dominant against the 195 Matip, he still has a weight advantage. Episode 63. Arsenal continue to fuss on both wings. This time the Hotbirds broke through on the right and crossed. Lu Junfeng wanted to fight for a header, but was pushed out first by Matip. On the periphery, it is still Arsenal players who control the ball. Lu Junfeng gestured to his teammates. It's better to pass a low flat ball, he can't stand the high altitude ball. Brothers, I'm stuck in my position, don't worry, good ball. Ouch, play hand-to-hand combat with me, I stop, hey, didn't stop. Lu Junfeng was simply under siege in the middle. The ball was passed, and the opponent immediately hit the two of them. In this case, it is still teammates who shoot reliably from distance on the perimeter, because the box is full of people. At this time, he inevitably thought of Xiao Yoshida. How nice it would be if his opponents were all little Yoshida. Koyoshida. Where are you? The game came to the 82nd minute, and the Hotbirds were obviously exhausted and could not run. Wenger looked at the bench and simply replaced Gnabry with a Hotbird. Arshavin is really unmoving now, or the impact of the young Gnabry is relatively strong. And Gnabry and Lu Junfeng's cooperation is more tacit. In fact, for Gnabry, the coaching staff has great expectations. This young man has speed, strength and skill, and his key mentality is very stable and he has the style of a general. Now it's bad experience. Seeing Gnabry playing, Zhang Jun introduced. This Gnabry was Lu Junfeng's teammate when he was in the reserve. The German, just 17 years old, is also a talented player. Coach Wenger would rather replace him than Arshavin, and it seems that Arshavin is really not in good shape right now. Jean-Lu added. It is also possible that Gnabry and Lu Junfeng are more familiar, and the two cooperate better with each other. Lu Junfeng and Arshavin started together in the third round of the League Cup before, and the cooperation was not very tacit and there were many mistakes. Coach Wenger sent this young player to let him pass more to Lu Junfeng. The game continues. When Lu Junfeng saw Gnabry coming up, he immediately signaled him to pass more low flat balls. Gnabry had just come on the field and sure enough, created a killing chance on the right wing. He dodged and swung through the defender's pockets, blocked the ball from the opponent, and then crossed with a low foot. Unfortunately, the ball was saved early by Schalke 04's goalkeeper. The other person opens forward with big feet. Arsenal players are now pressing on the pitch and fighting back frantically. After Cazorla controlled the ball, he still gave it to Gnabry on the right. The young man has just come on the field, full of energy and drive. This time, Gnabry made another breakthrough, and then took a step forward, saw that Lu Junfeng had his back stuck in position, and immediately passed obliquely 45 degrees. Good ball. Look how Lao Tzu beat him in the back. I made a dashing stop. How did the ball fly? It's okay, I just happened to come with a half-turn volley. On the field, Gnabry's low flat ball passed, Lu Junfeng stopped with his back and foot, but he didn't expect to let the ball fly more than half a person high in front of him. He reacted quickly, and while leaning on Matip, he came with a half-turn volley. His left foot hit a football in midair. Boom. The ball was played suddenly, and it was close to the goal and the ball was fast. Schalke 04, another central defender, Hevides, rushed over to block it too late. The goalkeeper also failed to save the ball. Goal. The ball flew into the bottom left corner of the goal. Arsenal equalized. 1:1. The two young players who were replaced on the field made a contribution. This is Lu Junfeng's sixth goal of the season and the second goal in the Champions League. Zhang Jun shouted excitedly. Good ball. This ball is so beautiful. World wave. Jean-Lu was also excited. Hee hee, this ball reminds me of one of Henry's wonderful goals back then, which was also to kick the ball high when the back was stopped, and then half-turn and volley. Zhang Jun continued to praise. I didn't expect Lu Junfeng to be able to play this kind of trick, it's really Zhangfei embroidery, thick and thin. Lu Junfeng's fans on the internet posted even more crazy at this time. This ball is simply flying fairy. You can score goals when you come up, Lu Huang is really not ordinary. I said that Lu Huang is the #1 center in the world, who approves it? Who is against? Even blind people can appreciate how wonderful Emperor Lu's technique is. Even if you are dumb, it is difficult not to applaud Lu Huang's performance. Drogba is already old, Lu Junfeng is the new monster. At this time, on the field, Lu Junfeng did not celebrate his goal, but quickly took the ball out of the goal and quickly kicked off. Since it is at home, it is definitely to win, not to be satisfied with a draw. Wenger had the same idea, so he moved for a third man, replacing right-back Jan Million with Arshavin. This substitution can be said to be very risky, and if it is not successful, it will become a benevolent. Seeing this, Zhang Jun sighed. It seems that Arsenal are not satisfied with a point at all, this one must be won. Jean Lu added. Schalke 04's home stadium is very difficult to play, and before visiting Schalke 04 there is a Major League game, away to Manchester United. So if you don't win this game, Arsenal's group first place is basically hopeless. But speed is not enough. On the field, Gnabry wanted to give Lu Junfeng a straight pass, but was intercepted by the opponent halfway. Then Schalke 04 fought back. Santos, who was too physically exhausted, could not catch up with Farfan on the right wing. Farfan burst into the box and crossed, and the unmarked Afil on the left pushed with an arch of his foot and scored easily. 1:2. Arsenal are behind again. Episode 64. The fans at the scene hid their faces and sighed. Zhang Jun said helplessly. If you know this, it's better to keep a draw, and then there is a little hope. If you lose this time, there is no hope at all. Coach Arsene Wenger's substitution was too aggressive. Jean Lu said. Arsenal is a bit thunderous and rainy in this game, there are definitely not many chances. In fact, Schalke 04 does not have many opportunities, but they have a strong grasp. On the field, Gnabry was somewhat remorseful. It was his pass that was intercepted and allowed the opponent to play a quick counterattack. Lu Junfeng went up and patted him on the back and said. Brace yourself. Passing can't always be without mistakes, there is still time, let's fight again. There was another substitution at this time, with Schalke 04 replacing Huntelaar with Marika, delaying a little by the way. Arsenal now have no other choice but to press hard. The game quickly came to stoppage time. This stoppage time is only 3 minutes. Mikel Arteta controlled the ball in the middle and again distributed it to Gnabry on the right. Gnabry still relies on his personal ability to outpower his opponents. The breakthrough was tackled, but the opponent was not far away. Arteta grabbed the ball and continued a straight block, again to Gnabry. Gnabry cuts into the box from the right. Lu Junfeng had already rushed to the door and shouted. Middle road. Give it. But this ball Gnabry pretended to hit the goal, then dunked and dangled past the opposing defender, and hit the goal directly with his left foot. Hey, the young man is still a little greedy. Zhang Jun said regretfully. The shot was saved by the Schalke 04 goalkeeper. But he didn't pounce far, and Lu Junfeng was running to the door. He directly made a sliding tackle and rushed into the net with the ball. Good ball. The football horse arrived, and Lu Junfeng entered the net in response. Zhang Junyi was excited and shouted wrong. But it can't be wrong, because Lu Junfeng really slipped all the way into the net. Goal. Arsenal scored another goal. They equalized twice while trailing. 2:2. Lu Junfeng scored twice for the first time in his career. He has already scored 7 goals this season. Scored 3 goals in the Champions League. The fans cheered again. There is still hope. The new young player Gnabry really worked. Lu Junfeng did not celebrate again, but held the ball and ran to the middle line. He still wanted to score another one. Unfortunately, there was not enough time, and the referee quickly blew the whistle for the end of the game. 2:2. Arsenal drew at home with Schalke 04. Arsenal ended their 5-game winning streak in all competitions, but they are still unbeaten in 8 consecutive games. Both teams are now 2 wins, 1 draw and 7 points, while Arsenal are at a disadvantage on goal difference and are in second place. If they can't beat Schalke 04 away in the next round, they have little hope of qualifying for the top spot in the group. The post-match rating was quickly released, and the best of the game was given to Schalke 04's Falcon with 8.3 points. They were able to draw with Arsenal away and achieve their desired goal. Arsenal's highest scorer Lu Junfeng scored 8.1 points. Had he been substituted earlier, maybe the outcome would have been different. But Wenger had to think holistically. Because they will usher in the Premier League match in 2 days, Lu Junfeng cannot be consumed too much. In the post-match press conference, he also answered reporters' questions. He can't put too much pressure on a 19-year-old. However, Lu Junfeng's performance was indeed better than he expected. As for why he chose to change people to strengthen the attack after the equalizer, there is nothing to say. He just wanted 3 points. If you don't get it, you can only take your life. In another match in the same group, Olympiacos beat Montpellier 2-1 away, accumulating 3 points and finishing third in the group. They want to enter the top 2, and the difficulty is not ordinary. Lu Junfeng came off the bench to score twice, making Huaxia sports media as lively as the new year again. Scored twice to save the team, Lu Junfeng's brave performance shocked Europe. Coming off the bench can turn the situation around, and Lu Junfeng, who is full of physical strength, is like a god. Wenger frankly said that Lu Junfeng is the strongest weapon. Save it. The volley is exciting. The best goal of the Champions League has already been booked. Who said that Huaxia men can't play well? Lu Junfeng tells you what a top center is. Lu Junfeng's popularity in Huaxia is really skyrocketing. He has already been recognized as the best striker in Chinese football. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is even the strongest player in the history of Chinese football. This is the player who can score twice in the Champions League. And scored a wonderful goal. He secured his starting center-forward position at Premier League giants Arsenal. He has only played 8 games for Arsenal and has already scored 7 goals. No Chinese player in history has ever had this level. Unless the Gao Lian of the Song dynasty is also a football player. Huaxia fans have completely fallen into madness. Huaxia football is really going to rise. Arsenal fans are equally excited. Although the home side was forced to draw, it was not a good result. But in addition to Lu Junfeng getting better and better, another young talent in the team has been born. Winger Gnabry is only 17 years old and has been so brave in the Champions League. If these two are locked, then Arsenal will not have to worry about attacking problems for the next 10 years. A good youth team has this benefit, and young players pop up at any time. They are already looking forward to the next games, and Gnabry will get more playing time. Episode 65. At the end of the Champions League match with Schalke 04, Robbie Leal, the black fat man who called himself Arsenal Fan TV, came to the outside of the Emirates Stadium to interview the Arsenal fans who left the stadium. Are you happy with today's result? He grabbed a fan who was willing to stop for an interview and asked. The fan frowned and said, "Oh, of course not satisfied, we probably won't be able to qualify first in the group." The black fat man deliberately led to ask. Is there something wrong with Coach Arsene Wenger's starting schedule? He should have let Lu start so we could win the game. The fan said without thinking. Yes, that's right, if Lu can start, we will definitely win. See what he's done since he plays. He played less than 30 minutes and scored 2 wonderful goals. I really saw the shadow of Henry in him. Mentioning Lu, many fans around were attracted to it. They shouted into the camera. We need Lu. We need Lu. OMG, how nice it would be if there were 2 Lus on the team. We can take turns letting them play without worrying about physical strength. Of course, there are those who disagree. Lu is so fat that I think he should lose some weight so he can run faster and play more time. If so, his confrontation ability will be gone, and I think Lu is the best now. Hey guys, I don't think the contribution of other players should be overlooked. Gnabry kid is great too. The black fat man patted the arguments of the fans, and his heart blossomed. This video is posted online, and the click rate is definitely not worried. Lu is now the traffic password. The match with Schalke 04 increased Lu Junfeng's Messi template fit by another 1 point to 55%. His half-turn volley was named the best Champions League goal of the round. This spread his fame all over the world. The impact of the Champions League competition can be more far-reaching than that of the Premier League. In addition, Zhang Jun's commentary on this game gave birth to a new meme, that is, the football horse arrives. Lu Junfeng responded to the sound and entered the net. As Lu Junfeng's fame grew, many netizens began to make memes about him, because his performance on the field was indeed very interesting. There are many goals, strong strength, and many funny scenes. For example, stable as a bell, fast as the wind, professional winger Lu Junfeng. Little monster, 3 million, like at first if you don't shoot the ball. Stop the ball, 8 meters away, look at the smiling faces of your teammates. Tai Henin, big man, 1 m 90 no header. Some even call him a like-up striker. However, many ridicules contain netizens' love for Lu Junfeng. There are many people who respectfully call him Emperor Lu. His fans are the Royal Guard. At this time, Arsenal ushered in some good news, such as the main right-back Sonia and midfielder Wilshere officially returned from injury. The dressing room is now even more lively. In particular, Wilshere, who is known as the Prince, has always regarded himself as the future captain. This season he wore the number 10 shirt, which symbolizes the core. So as soon as he saw Lu Junfeng, who had recently become popular, he came over and said in the tone of his seniors, "Good job, young man, now that our lineup is getting more and more tidy, let's do something big together." Lu Junfeng couldn't sweep his interest, so he could only step forward to shake hands and hug each other. But he knew that this guy couldn't play much and had to go to the hospital bed to rest. Anyway, when he was training, Lu Junfeng never dared to let go of his hands and feet to fight. His teammates are so brittle. What if I get hurt during training? On October 27, at 10 p.m. Chinese time, Arsenal hosted the Queen's Park Rangers at home. Queen's Park Rangers abbreviated as QPR. The deepest impression of Huaxia fans on them was the fight with the Huaxia national youth team that year. This London club has been wandering in the lower leagues all year round, and the style of play is relatively rough. Although they were founded in 1882, they have won the League Cup only once in their history. This is already one of their most important championships. In the 10-11 season, they were champions of the championship and promoted to the Premier League. They finished 17th in the league last season and barely got relegated. In the first 8 rounds of the season, they drew 4 and lost 4 and accumulated only 4 points, typical of a relegation team. For such a team, Arsenal at home naturally need to take all 3 points and score as many goals as possible. Arsenal's starting lineup was goalkeeper Manwan. The 4 defenders, from right to left, are Sarnia, Mertzack, Vermaelen and Andre Santos. Arsenal finally welcomed back their main right-back, but at the same time lacked the main left-back. The midfield trio are Cazorla, Arteta and Wilshere. Wilshere is also a very heavy player for Arsene Wenger and can start just after returning from injury. On the forward line, Lu Junfeng is in the center, flanked by Beau Plain and Hot Bird. On the bench sat Olivier Giroud, Ramsey, Walcott, Coquelin, Koscielny, Jan Million and goalkeeper Martinez. Due to the large number of personnel in the forward line, Gnabry returned to the reserve team to play. However, he continues to train with the first team. Episode 66. The goalkeeper of Queen's Park Rangers is Caesar, who has been selected for the Brazilian national team. Just got visa-free from Inter Milan this season. Caesar is a generation demon in the Football Manager game. It is characterized by instability, super god when gods, and super ghosts when ghosts. It is commonly known as unpredictable. In the future, Brazil's 7-1 defeat to Germany was his goalkeeper. Of course, that rout had little to do with him. His wife, Suzanne, is the ex-girlfriend of world-class striker Ronaldo, the Alien. The QPR backline from right to left is Bozingwa, Mbia, Nelson, Traore. 2 fullbacks, Bozingwa were drawn out of Chelsea, while Traore was part of the Arsenal squad. The midfield quartet are Wright Phillips, Deckett, Granero, and Tarabt. Up front are Hoylett and Zamora. The formation is close to the traditional 442. More and more Arsenal fans wore the number 58 shirt at the scene. Everyone is proud to own the number 58 jersey, which has caused Lu Junfeng's jersey sales to rise rapidly. He soars faster than a rocket. Arsenal fans also collectively sang an adaptation of the song Hey Lu. This is an adaptation of the famous song Hey Jude by the Beatles. Hey Lu, don't be afraid. This represents the love that the fans have for him. Only a player who is loved by the fans can enjoy the chorus of the whole stadium for him. As soon as the game started, Arsenal launched an onslaught. Winger Sonia cooperated with his teammates and dribbled the ball straight into the right wing. Lu Junfeng shouted while running, "Pass one in the middle. Give it." Unfortunately, Sarnia's low cross was cleared by the opponent. The attention of the 2 central defenders on the other side is on Lu Junfeng. They don't care about other positions, and the middle is definitely strictly defensive. Not long after, Santos on the left flank burst in again, and the cross hit the leg of the opposing defender, almost causing an own goal, but it was saved by goalkeeper Caesar. In the 10th minute, Sonia again burst in from the right and crossed the front point. The Hot Bird is unguarded and the header hits the crossbar. In the 12th minute, the Hot Bird passed straight to Lu Junfeng, who was stuck in the middle of the field. Lu Junfeng returned to the left Beau Plain. "Wait Plain, you wait for me, I run, you pass the triangle." As a result, the wave aircraft fired directly and deflected. Hey, why are you in such a hurry with this ball? In the 19th minute, the small threat Wilshere and Cazorla kicked the wall in the middle, brought to the front of the box, did not choose to directly plug to Lu Junfeng on the side, but shot from a distance. The goalkeeper made a save, but Cazorla followed up to try to make up the shot, which was confiscated by the opposing goalkeeper. You give this ball to the wing, I pulled it all aside. Lu Junfeng felt that his teammate was too anxious. In the first 20 minutes, Arsenal had 80% possession and completely pressed the opponent. But this style of play made Lu Junfeng unable to find a chance to counterattack at all, and it was difficult to reflect the speed advantage. And the opposing defender is very wild, and it is not easy to crush by body. If he pulls the edge, no one can top it in the middle. After that, the Queen's Park Rangers players became more and more defensive. First, Tarabt knocked down a small threat, but he didn't even count as a foul. Home fans booed the referee like crazy. Then Deket fouled Lu Junfeng again. Lu Junfeng sat on the ground dissatisfied and complained. Hey, referee, isn't this foul? Are they here to kick or wrestle? All of them are British Hercules, right? The referee finally gave Arsenal a free kick. Beauplain took the penalty and was blocked by the human wall. Lu Junfeng played very depressed because he rarely got passes in the middle. The other side piled up a lot of people in the middle, just to hold on to a draw. Finally, Santos passed one, and a small angle shot was still saved by the opposing goalkeeper. Hey, why is it that every goalkeeper I encounter is a god? When has a low-level mistake sent me one? Breaking the dense defense remains a problem for Arsenal, especially against the middle and lower reaches of the Premier League. At halftime, the two teams played 0-0. In the midfield dressing room, Wenger asked the team to continue the pressure and then increase the long-range shot. As long as there are enough shots on goal, the opponent will always make mistakes. Lu Junfeng hopes that the team will send Giroud to play the two-tower tactic with him. This way he can pull across and let Olivier Giroud head the ball in the middle. Fighting the QPR guards is really tiring. In the Huasha studio, in response to the draw in the first half, Zhang Jun analyzed. This QPR team just came 0-0 and basically didn't attack. This large group of people blocked in front of the door is indeed more difficult to deal with. Let's see if you can break the deadlock with a free kick or a long-range shot. Jean-Lu added. The other side really didn't have any other ideas because they attacked too badly. To get a point at home to Arsenal is definitely satisfying. But Arsenal certainly didn't accept it. There should be more offensive players in the second half, and defensive players don't need so much. The game starts again. QPR's Granero first stepped on a small threat and then fouled Santos. The key is that he didn't get a single yellow card. Arsenal players couldn't stand it and questioned the referee. The fans booed the audience. They can't wait to rush into the stadium and beat up the opposing players and referees. Episode 67. In the 51st minute, the small threat with the ball was brought down again. This QPR player is simply here to cut wood. Arsenal won a free kick. Arteta takes the penalty, Mertzak header, but is saved by the opposing goalkeeper. In the 56th minute, Granero tripped in front of the box and was finally shown a yellow card. Wenger saw that the situation was wrong. If he continues to kick like this, Wilshere, who has just returned from injury, must be kicked into the hospital. He made the first substitution, replacing Wilshere with centre Olivier Giroud. This is another very bold substitution. The midfielder became a partnership between Mikel Arteta and Cazorla, appearing defensive. Two big centres up front. The two-tower tactic that Lu Junfeng had in mind has finally arrived. Wilshere looked frustrated when he was substituted. He thinks he can still fight. He should be the leader of the team, how can he be replaced in less than 60 minutes? In the Huasha studio, Zhang Jun analyzed. It seems that Coach Wenger thinks that the opponent's attack is not a threat, so he would rather give up his athleticism and play two big centers. Jean-Lu added. Yes. This ball is completely a halftime offensive and defensive drill, and the opponent rarely attacks the midfield, and they are all stuck in their own penalty area. In this case, go to the opponent's penalty area to fight for a header, and the goal hope will be much greater. As soon as Giroud came on, Lu Junfeng told him. I'll pull the side later, you go to the middle to fight for a header. At this time, the other party could no longer stare at Lu Junfeng with two central defenders, because Giroud needed to have a tall man to watch over him. The game resumes. Cazorla's free kick deflected through the wall. Not long after, Granero shoveled Arteta again. He already had a yellow card, but this time, the referee refused to show him a second yellow card. The referee looked like he had come with a task. This time, Cazorla's free kick was deflected again. The game continued, and the scramble on the field became more intense. Soon, Giroud tackled Traoré during a counter-tackle and was yellow-carded. Arsenal added a lot of 45-degree crosses, allowing two centre-forwards to head the goal. QPR's defense line looks precarious. They can only shrink the midfielders and help the back line to sandwich Arsenal's two big centre-forwards. Finally, in the 69th minute, the left flanker crossed down. The ball was passed just right. Olivier Giroud jumped high in the middle, pressed the opposing defender, and headed the goal. The ball was saved by the opposing goalkeeper, Caesar. But the ball pounced in front of Lu Junfeng. Lu Junfeng did not hesitate to follow the trend with a left-footed volley. Caesar blocked the ball again. At this time, Arteta stepped forward into the middle of the penalty area and the ball happened to fly towards him. Arteta follows the momentum to score. Caesar held the ball up in a panic. The ball was lifted to hit the crossbar. After landing, you are right at the foot of Arteta. Arteta poked the ball into the goal with a poke on tiptoe. Goal. Scored. It was Arteta's first goal of the season. Excited, he ran to the horn flag and made a bullfighter's signature move. Arsenal finally broke the deadlock. The Rangers of Queen's Park's iron barrel formation failed to hold on to the end. The two big centres involved too much of their defensive energy, allowing the forward Mikel Arteta to sneak up successfully. The whole audience was boiling. Arsenal attacked for 70 minutes and finally scored. Now the situation has been completely reversed. Because the Queen's Park Rangers don't have offensive capabilities at all. Jean Jun praised. Coach Arsene Wenger's bold change has worked. The two-tower tactic makes the opponent's dense defense useless. Maybe in the future, when he encounters a tough battle, he will sacrifice this tactic again. Jean-Loup added. That's right, two big centers of 1.9 meters standing in the box, this pressure is too strong, it is difficult for a team to cope. Of course, this tactic can only be used against teams that have little offensive ability, otherwise they will be beaten badly by counterattacks. Soon, Lu Junfeng was replaced by Ramsey, and Walcott replaced the Hot Birds, and Arsenal returned to the 4,231 formation. The angry QPR player moved more and more, and as a result, MBIA swept Vermaelen in retaliation and was sent off with a straight red card. This was the QPR team's 9th red card of 2012 and their style of play was evident. At the same time, they equaled the records of Everton, 1995, and West Ham, 1999. Now Arsenal's victory is decided. Unwilling to lose, the QPR team made 3 changes in a row in an attempt to tie the score. Instead, they were hit back by Arsenal. Beauplain crossed from the left again, and Giroud flew with his left foot to shoot and put the ball inside the door. Goal. Arsenal scored another goal. It was Giroud's first goal at Arsenal. He was so excited that he slipped all the way to his knees at the horn flag. 2-0. There is no suspense about the outcome of the game. In the end, the score of 2:00 was maintained until the end of the game. Arsenal have won 4 consecutive league games and are unbeaten in 9 consecutive games in all competitions. Although the game was a lot tougher than expected, it was always good to get 3 points. The Arsenal fans at the scene were completely into the carnival moment. If you can win every game, no matter how expensive the ticket is, it is worth it. Episode 68. Post-match ratings were quickly announced, with Mikel Arteta, who broke the deadlock, scoring a game-high 8.5 points and winning player of the match. Olivier Giroud, who scored his first goal for Arsenal, scored a high score of 8.2. Lu Junfeng has 7.9 points, which is also good. Opposing goalkeeper Caesar scored 8.1 points, the highest among the QPR team. If it weren't for his high catch, Arsenal would have been ahead by a wide margin. Lu Junfeng's Messi template fit has increased by another 1 point to 56%. In the dressing room, he approached Giroud and said, "I said the professor would let us go together, right? In the future, I will practice more crossing, and you will be responsible for competing for the top." Giroud has regained confidence and has a big hug with Lu Junfeng. At the press conference, Wenger was asked about the Twin Towers tactics. He said everything would be arranged according to the situation on the field. The effect of the 2 towers playing at the same time today is not bad, and I may continue to try it in the future. And when the black fat man of Arsenal Fan TV interviewed the elated Arsenal fans, the fan said that the Twin Towers will become Arsenal's strong weapon. In the future, I will no longer be afraid of the death of those weak teams. The 9th round of the Premier League was soon over. In a highlight battle, Manchester United beat Chelsea 3-2 away to win 8 in a row. Van Persie scored an own goal in the opening 4 minutes. He then took Valencia's cross and scored to take a 2-0 lead. Chelsea were driven straight from Juan Mata's free kick to recover one. Ramirez then scored against Cleverly to tie the game at 2-2. In the 62nd minute, Chelsea's Ivanovic tripped Ashley Young in front of the box and was sent off with a straight red card. In the 68th minute, Chelsea's Torres fell while breaking through Evans, and the referee deemed him a fake fall and gave him a yellow card. Torres accumulated 2 yellow cards and was also sent off, leaving Chelsea with just 9. But slow-motion replays showed that Evans did touch Torres, but the referee did not change the penalty. This led to a scramble on the sidelines between the two coaching staffs. In the 75th minute, controversy recurred on the pitch when Manchester United's Little P. Hernandez scored with a pass from teammate Rafael to give United the lead again. But the replay showed that the ball was offside. Chelsea player Mikel protested to the referee and was shown a yellow card. Manchester United beat Chelsea away from home to win 9-8-1 after several controversial penalties, accumulating 24 points to continue to lead the table. Their lead came to 5 points. Chelsea have 19 points from 6 wins, 1 draw and 2 defeats, as they are surpassed by Manchester City on goal difference and are in 3rd place in the league. Manchester City beat Swansea 1-0 thanks to a goal from Tevez to save 19 points from 5 wins, 4 draws, and move them to 2nd place in the league. They are also the only team that has not lost this season. Tottenham beat Southampton 2-1 away, with 5 wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats, 17 points, and 4th in the league. Arsenal relied on a wave of 4 consecutive wins, 9 wins, 4 wins, 3 draws and 2 defeats, accumulated 15 points, and beat Newcastle United with a goal difference advantage to rank 5th in the Premier League. They were still mixed in the relegation zone before, and they rushed to the Champions League zone in an instant. This ability to grab points is really terrifying. And their biggest rival in the Champions League is the sworn rival, Tottenham Hotspur. However, in the next round Arsenal will be away to leaders Manchester United, and the winning streak is likely to be ended. Newcastle United beat West Bromwich Albion 2-1, also with 4 wins, 3 draws, and 2 defeats, accumulating 15 points. Liverpool drew 2-2 away at Everton, with 2 wins, 4 draws, and 3 defeats, accumulating only 10 points. In addition, Aston Villa and Norwich City draw. Stoke City and Sunderland also draw. Reading and Fulham were also draws. Wigan Athletic beat West Ham United. At present, it seems that Arsenal are completely out of decline, and there is still a big hope of reaching the Champions League this season. On the Huasha side, although Lu Junfeng did not score or assist in this game, and even lost in the stranglehold of the opposing defender for a while, media practitioners can still find ways to praise Lu Junfeng from different angles. A powerful shot creates a good opportunity for teammates to score, and the data shows that Lu Junfeng helps the most to win. At the critical moment, Wenger activated the two-tower tactic and raised high to bring surprises. The role of the center is vividly reflected by him, and Wenger does not dare to replace Lu Junfeng if he is not ahead. If your teammates are powerful, why not? See how many opportunities Arsenal wasted on the wing. Of course, overhyping can also bring backlash. For Kuroko, it is not so difficult to find the picture of Lu Junfeng's poor performance. But Arsenal won, and Kuroko's argument seemed unconvincing. They were drowned in the sea of Lu Junfeng's fans. Arsenal have one more game ahead of their next Premier League clash against Manchester United, the 4th round of the Carabao Cup, away to Premier League side Reading. Wenger apparently didn't pay attention to the outcome of the Carabao Cup, and once again selected a group of reserve players to train with the first team in preparation for them to play. When Liku, Bellerin and others came to the first team training ground again, Lu Junfeng and Gnabry, who were stationed here, had already welcomed them as seniors. Others also have a chance to become famous like them, but they just need to seize it. And the next Carabao Cup is the best testing ground. Episode 69. Before the start of the League Cup, Lu Junfeng ushered in another big event, that is, Lynn Shire helped him buy a house. This is a second-hand detached villa not far from the Kearney training base. I heard that the popular fried chicken Lu Junfeng wanted to buy, and the owner of the villa, as an Arsenal fan, gave him a 9-fold discount. Calculated as long as more than 40 million Huasha coins, for Lu Junfeng now, just taking a few endorsement contracts can earn it in a year. His family is not short of this money, and there is no pressure to pay it all. The villa has 3 floors above ground and a roof garden. There is a basement floor where the rooms have been converted into a home theater and a temperature-controlled wine cellar with a capacity of 2,000 bottles. However, Lu Junfeng was not very interested in drinking. Before he retires, he should not be addicted to alcohol. The villa has a total of 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms. This does not include the maid's room. A gym and swimming pool are available on site. The furniture and appliances inside are complete, and you can move in with your bag. Lin also found a nanny and cook for him. She now believes that Lu Junfeng will become a top football star, so everything must be arranged according to the treatment of top stars. In addition, she also used the funds provided by Lu Junfeng's parents to buy a car for Lu Junfeng. According to Lu Junfeng's size and preferences, the last order was a black large Hummer off-road vehicle. This can reflect Lu Junfeng's identity. For Lu Junfeng, moving is a simple matter because his luggage is only a change of clothes and a laptop. However, when he moved into the villa, he found that Lin Suer lived in together. She explained that this was what Lu Junfeng's parents meant. In the future, she will not only be Lu Junfeng's agent, but also a part-time housekeeper. Lu Junfeng's parents are afraid that he has money. Just like those fun-loving football stars, they often have some messy parties at home. This would ruin his career, so let Lin Shire manage him. Lu Junfeng was speechless about this. What's the difference between this and living in a player quarter? The squad for the Carabao Cup game against Reading was released the night before the match. The strikers are Lu Junfeng, Giroud, Walcott, Arshavin, and Gnabry. In midfield there are Coquelin, Liku, Flimpen, and Isfield. On the back line are Koscielny, Giroud, Jan Million, McQuire, Bellerin, Squillaxi, Myerd. The goalkeepers are Damian Martinez and James Shea. It is clear that most of the main players will be suspended in this match in preparation for the crucial league away game against Manchester United. Because Reading's home stadium is not far from London, the Arsenal team only arrived at the Madejski Stadium by team-chartered bus at noon on the day of the match. In the Premier League, this is a very small home stadium, with a capacity of more than 24,000 people. Although Reading was founded in 1871, it has always been in the lower leagues. They were promoted to the Premier League for the first time in 2006. The 07-08 season failed to relegate and fell into the Championship again. In the 12-13 season, they were promoted to the Premier League again. However, after 9 rounds of Premier League matches, they have drawn 3 and lost 6, with only 3 points, ranking last from the bottom. It seems that they are still relegated this season. After so many years of existence, Reading has only 2 Championship champions to talk to masturbate. The Carabao Cup attracted a large number of Reading fans and Arsenal fans from London. The pitch was packed. Because the match started at 3:45 a.m. in Huaxia and there was no broadcast, only the hardcore Arsenal fans and Lu Junfeng fans got up to follow this League Cup match. An hour before the match, the starting lineups of both sides were announced. Arsenal goalkeeper Martinez. The backline is Jan Million, Koscielny, Giroud, McQuill. In midfield, Liku, Gnabry, and Frampen came to partner. Today, Gnabry played in the forward-back position to train his organizational skills. The coaching staff still takes this talented teenager very seriously. Olivier Giroud started the center up front, flanked by Walcott and Arshavin. Again the 433 formation. Lu Junfeng sat on the bench. If the team can secure a win, he won't need to play, because the league plays Manchester United, and he is likely to be the starter. Before the game, Lu Junfeng had already shown his seniors' demeanor and encouraged Liku and Gnabry to show themselves well, but what he gained was the wide eyes of the two. You must know that 2 months ago, he could only play as a substitute in the reserve, and Liku and Gnabry were already the main players in the reserve team. Who thought that 2 months later, Lu Junfeng would have become a star player in the Premier League? This is wonderful enough to make a movie. Reading starting 11 is goalkeeper Federici. 4 defenders Gunter, Morrison, Gersko, Scory. Midfielders are Robson Kanu, Ledgerwood, Tabor, and McCulley. The forwards are Hunter and Roberts. 442 formation. Unlike Arsenal, Reading takes this Carabao Cup very seriously and sends most of the main team. The Premier League is not going well and they have to find confidence in the cup. The competition officially began soon. The Reading team took advantage of the home field to fight fiercely and frequently put tackles. Arsenal's midfield struggled to hold the ball and were given 2 corner chances in the opening game. One of them almost succeeded, but Martinez flew to save. Arsenal made a pass error on the counter-attack and the ball was once again taken away by Reading. Fortunately, Reading's players were poor in technique and failed to form a goal-scoring opportunity. Episode 70. Arshavin then pulled back to get the ball and gave the Tiger a pass over the head, but it was sabotaged by the opposing defender. When Reading attacked, Roberts turned his back against Giroud and played the ball for his teammates. Midfielder Tabor took the ball into the box and was saved by Arsenal goalkeeper Martinez. Arsenal's midfielders have a hard time organizing their attack, relying on Arshavin to pull back and get the ball and then rush in with the ball. This time he passed the ball sideways to Walcott the Tiger before being pinched. Walcott dribbled into the box, the ball was kicked off the line by the opposing defender, and Arsenal won a corner. This time, the corner kick was headed over by the opposing defender. Arshavin controlled the ball, flicked past a defender, and volleyed into the box, which was blocked by the opposing player. Arsenal's corner kick failed to threaten. In the 12th minute, the Arsenal midfielder made a mistake and Reading played a quick counter-attack. Hunter burst in with the ball in the middle and distributed it to the left. Robson Kanu on the left flanked across from the bottom, and the Arsenal defender made a communication error in the middle, missed the ball, and Roberts at the back point easily made a tackle. Arsenal trailed 1 o'clock. This is a very bad start. Arsenal stepped up their attack after conceding the goal. However, they did not cooperate tacitly in the front court, and there were many mistakes, but it allowed Reading to easily play a counterattack. Within minutes, Reading matched with a touchline ball and McCulley passed the ball through the crotch of the Arsenal defender to fullback Gunter, who was plugged in. Gunter crossed in front of goal, but Arsenal defender Koscielny extended his leg to intercept and accidentally shoveled the ball into his own goal. Own goal. Arsenal are 2-0 down. The players on the field were a little confused. This is playing at the bottom of the Premier League. The Reading fans at the scene went crazy. They never expected the home team to lead Arsenal by 2 goals in the opening game. But the miracle is not over. Just 2 minutes later, the Arsenal midfielder made another mistake in a direct pass. Reading quickly countered to win a corner. This time, the corner was cleared by the Arsenal defender, but did not play far. Reading midfielder Legwood pushed the ball to the edge of the penalty area and suddenly pulled out his foot and shot angrily. Martinez saved the ball, but it was too powerful to stop it from going into the net. Arsenal trail Reading 3-0. This is probably a result that no one can imagine. You can lose the League Cup, but you can't lose it that way. Wenger on the sidelines sat in the dugout and gave no instructions. He wants the players to adjust themselves. This League Cup is irrelevant, but it can test the resilience of the players on the pitch. It's just that Arsenal's doom is not over yet. In the 32nd minute, Arsenal's Maguire was shown a yellow card for a tackle on McCulley. In the 37th minute, Arsenal's backfield captain passed to Olivier Giroud, who snatched the ball with a suspected foul and quickly passed it to Legwood in front. Ledgerwood drew the defense in the middle and split it to McCulley on the right. McCulley crossed, and Hunter pressed Jean Million and put the ball into the goal. Arsenal trail Reading 4-0. This is a rout that no one can predict. Some of the Arsenal fans have already started leaving. Arsenal fans on the internet are frantically posting angrily scolding the players on the field. Wenger is not wrong to send a mixed first and second team to play this game, because they will face Manchester United in a few days. But these players betrayed Wenger's trust. They couldn't even play for the relegation team, and they were humiliated by the big score, and they didn't deserve to wear the Arsenal shirt. They're as soft as noodles. Wenger did not look angry at this time. The polite old man still looked calm, only to complain to the fourth official on the sidelines about Reading's foul on Giroud before the goal. The game continues. Arsenal players had to press hard to try to save face. Finally, before the end of the first half, the Reading defender's header was intercepted by Arshavin. Arshavin kicked straight to the successful anti-offside Tiger Walcott. Walcott took advantage of his speed to take a solo shot, then picked a shot over the head of the attacking goalkeeper to pull a goal back. Goal. Arsenal scored. It was Walcott's 3rd goal in the Carabao Cup. It was also his 5th goal of the season. Arsenal are currently 4-1 behind Reading. At halftime, there was a dead silence in Arsenal's dressing room. It's okay to lose, but losing is so ugly, they are indispensable to be criticized by the media and fans. It's been a recent turnaround, but you can't take another sharp turn because of this game. Wenger did not rant at the players at this time. He just said, "There is still half a game. You can choose to continue to muddle through the nightmare and carry this defeat for the rest of your life. You can also choose to save yourself. It's up to you to decide." Then he walked out of the dressing room and onto the pitch. For this game, it is enough to judge which players are no longer suitable to stay at Arsenal. Only the players are left in the dressing room now. Some people started complaining about their teammates. Some are silent. The captain on the field today is Zhu Lu, but it is clear that he cannot serve the crowd in terms of strength or seniority. Seeing this, Lu Junfeng stood up and said loudly, "Liverpool can score 3 goals in a row in the Champions League final, why can't we? With half a game to go, there's plenty of time. Come on, brothers. Our strength is stronger than theirs. We can also fight harder than them." They're running out of fight because they played in the Premier League the other day. Our physical strength prevails. Nothing is impossible. Let's forget about the first half and fight for another 45 minutes. We are Arsenal players.